Hello, New York Yankees fans. We have brand new exclusive videos and the latest news for you. Before we get started, we'd like to invite you to join our channel and give this video a like. It's crucial to get exclusive access to the latest updates. Aaron Judge has sent shockwaves through the baseball world, and the city of New York is still trying to process the news. In a press conference that felt more like a seismic event than a routine announcement, Judge made it clear that his time with the Yankees is coming to an end. The atmosphere in the room was electric, with reporters and fans alike hanging on his every word, trying to grasp the gravity of what he was saying. There was an unmistakable sense of finality in his tone, a mixture of respect, nostalgia, and, for many, heartbreak. Rumors had been swirling for weeks, whispers about contract negotiations, about loyalty, about ambition, but hearing it straight from Judge himself made it undeniable. Speculation immediately started to run wild. Where would he go next? Which team would dare to take on one of the most formidable sluggers in the league? The Yankees' locker room, a place that had been his home, now faces a future without its centerpiece, and fans are left to imagine the club's next chapter without the man who had become synonymous with the pinstripes. The implications of this announcement reach far beyond New York, shaking up the entire league and reigniting debates about team loyalty, money, and legacy in professional sports. From the moment Judge stepped up to the podium, the energy was almost unbearable, the kind of intensity that only surrounds moments of true upheaval. Reporters leaned forward, pens and recorders at the ready, trying to catch every nuance of his words. Judge spoke not just as a player, but as someone aware of the historical weight of his decision. His words hinted at more than just a desire for a new challenge. There was a complex mix of personal ambition, professional goals, and perhaps frustrations with the organization that had shaped him into a household name. As he spoke, the murmurs of speculation in the press room grew louder, with everyone trying to read between the lines. Could this move be financially motivated? Was it about chasing a championship elsewhere? Or was it something more intangible, something only Judge himself truly understands? Already, bookmakers and analysts are scrambling to predict the next move, while social media explodes with theories, alliances, and imagined trade scenarios. The Yankees organization, meanwhile, remains silent officially, but insiders hint at internal meetings already underway, trying to map out how to fill the void that Judge will inevitably leave behind. Every word he spoke seemed to hint at both an ending and a beginning, a dramatic transition that could redefine his legacy and the landscape of the league. The ripple effects of Judge's departure are being felt across every major team, each one suddenly imagining how they might leverage this unprecedented moment. Scouts and executives are reportedly dialing in, evaluating their rosters, and considering not just the athletic impact, but the marketing and fan engagement implications of landing a player of Judge's magnitude. There's a delicate tension between excitement and caution as teams weigh financial feasibility against the opportunity to acquire a superstar. Fans, on the other hand, are caught in a whirlwind of loyalty and speculation, some mourning the loss of their idol, others eagerly imagining their own team making the blockbuster move. Rumors about potential suitors are already saturating sports media, with names being tossed around in a frenzy of speculation, some more realistic than others. Meanwhile, merchandise sales, ticket inquiries, and social chatter are all skyrocketing as everyone tries to stay ahead of what could become one of the most talked about moves in recent sports history. This is the kind of moment that transcends normal trade rumors. It feels like a cultural event, one that will dominate headlines, sports shows, and conversations for months to come. Analysts are poring over every historical precedent, trying to predict not just the next team, but the long-term implications for league dynamics and player mobility. Inside the Yankees organization, the mood is reportedly a mixture of shock, admiration, and anxiety. Front office staff are trying to plan both a farewell worthy of Judge and a strategic response that maintains the club's competitive edge. There is acknowledgement that replacing a talent of this caliber is virtually impossible, both in terms of on-field performance and off-field presence. Coaches and teammates are rumored to be organizing personal farewells, private moments of reflection, and even lighthearted pranks, trying to balance the sadness of loss with the celebration of a career spent in New York. Social media posts hint at private dinners, cryptic farewells, and heartfelt messages, all fueling the narrative of an iconic exit. The Yankees, as an organization, are now navigating uncharted waters, facing questions about team morale, future acquisitions, and the leadership required to maintain their competitive identity. Each day that passes adds more layers to the story, with journalists, insiders, and fans dissecting every interview, every gesture, and every cryptic hint, looking for clues about what comes next. The pressure on the Yankees is immense, as they are now not just a team facing a roster change, but a symbol in a league-wide drama that has captured global attention. Every corner of the sports world is speculating about what Judge's next move could mean for the broader baseball ecosystem. Teams are evaluating not just their financial capability to acquire him, but also their cultural and strategic fit. There is endless debate about who could actually provide the combination of championship prospects, financial flexibility, and media appeal that a player like Judge commands. Rumors about potential trades, free agent signings, and blockbuster deals have begun circulating, each more elaborate than the last. Meanwhile, pundits and fans are dissecting the motives behind Judge's decision, weighing loyalty against personal ambition, and wondering whether this departure marks a trend of superstar mobility in the sport. Beyond the logistics of contracts and performance metrics, the human element looms large. Friendships, rivalries, and team chemistry all hang in the balance. Every report, no matter how speculative, is dissected for hidden meaning, fueling an ongoing narrative that blends sports, business, and personality into one headline-grabbing saga. It is a rare moment where one announcement can shift so many conversations simultaneously, transforming casual fans into analysts and creating a collective tension that stretches across cities, social media platforms, and international audiences. As the hours turn into days, the story only grows and the intrigue intensifies. Fans are creating countdowns, social media polls, and speculative graphics, imagining Judge in every uniform imaginable. Every sports show, every YouTube channel, every podcast seems compelled to dissect the implications, speculate on outcomes, and analyze the human drama behind the decision. The rumor mill spins faster with each passing hour, feeding off cryptic statements, insider leaks, and the general unpredictability of the baseball transfer market. Across the industry, there's acknowledgement that few players have ever wielded this kind of influence, and that this moment will be dissected for years to come. Every potential move, every whisper of negotiation, and every hypothetical trade scenario contributes to a sense of ongoing anticipation. The departure of a superstar like Judge is not just an event. It is a narrative in motion, a story unfolding in real time, with layers of intrigue, emotion, and speculation that will dominate conversations and headlines for months. The ripple effects are everywhere, and nobody can predict exactly where the next twist will come. The next chapter in Judge's career is already being imagined, discussed, and debated in sports circles around the world. Teams are strategizing behind closed doors, imagining how to leverage his talent, charisma, and influence to their advantage. Every rumor, every leak, every reported meeting becomes fuel for fan speculation, creating a narrative as compelling as the games themselves. Meanwhile, Judge himself remains an enigmatic figure, carefully weighing his next steps while the entire sports world waits with bated breath. The human element, ambition, family, personal goals, is constantly speculated upon, and every media appearance or social media post becomes part of the broader story. The complexity of the situation, the magnitude of the decision, and the sheer influence of one player have created a landscape where anything seems possible. Fans and analysts alike are caught in a whirlwind of what-ifs, imagining lineups, home run tallies, and championship possibilities in a post-Judge Yankees world. Even casual observers are drawn in, fascinated by the drama, the stakes, and the sheer unpredictability of professional sports. It is a moment that feels larger than baseball, a cultural event that blends rumor, speculation, and the undeniable impact of one iconic athlete, and it is only beginning to unfold in all its complexity. The speculation about Aaron Judge's next destination is already reaching fever pitch, with sports media outlets and fans alike debating every possibility as if it were a chessboard of epic proportions. Rumors are flying about the teams that could realistically acquire him, and every franchise suddenly seems to be calculating the perfect combination of salary cap, roster fit, and market appeal. Some suggest that teams with championship windows might make bold offers, while others imagine a more strategic approach, one where a rebuilding team invests heavily in the future potential and star power Judge brings. The beauty of the situation is its unpredictability. Every hint, every insider leak, and every cryptic social media post feeds the rumor mill, making each day a new chapter in a story that seems impossible to predict. Analysts are dissecting every possible move, debating whether Judge prioritizes winning immediately, financial gain, or a combination of both. Meanwhile, fans have turned speculation into a game itself, crafting mock trades, imagining jersey swaps, and debating endlessly in comment sections and forums. Each theory, no matter how far-fetched, gains traction as the anticipation builds, creating a sense of shared excitement and collective obsession that is rare even in professional sports. The league itself watches closely, aware that the ripples from this single announcement are already affecting every aspect of competition, team strategy, and player negotiation. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Across social media, the conversation is dominated by a mix of awe, curiosity, and anxiety. Memes, videos, and hypothetical highlights are circulating rapidly, illustrating how quickly Judge's announcement has transformed from news into cultural phenomenon. Fans dissect every word from his press conference, analyzing tone, body language, and context for clues about his intentions. Each interaction on platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok becomes a piece of the puzzle, as followers try to predict whether Judge is leaning toward a team with a storied history, a current championship contender, or a more unconventional choice. The market for speculation is vast, and influencers, sports commentators, and amateur analysts are all contributing to a collective narrative that seems to have a life of its own. Meanwhile, betting odds and fantasy baseball projections are being recalibrated constantly, as bookmakers attempt to account for a move that could redefine multiple seasons. Every new rumor sparks debates, disagreements, and excitement, fueling a continuous cycle of anticipation that shows no sign of slowing down. In this way, Judge's departure has transcended typical sports news, becoming a social and digital spectacle where fan engagement is measured not just in likes or views, but in theory crafting, predictions, and endless discussion. Within the Yankees organization, the impact is already being felt in both tangible and intangible ways. Internally, executives are reportedly scrambling to plan not just a replacement on the field, but a strategy to maintain fan loyalty and organizational identity in the wake of losing a player of Judge's caliber. Coaches and teammates are grappling with a mix of pride, nostalgia, and the challenge of navigating a locker room suddenly without its cornerstone. While some insiders hint at potential high-profile acquisitions or internal promotions, others acknowledge that no single move can replicate the combination of skill, charisma, and presence that Judge brings. At the same time, public relations teams are coordinating carefully to manage messaging, both to reassure fans and to control the narrative in media coverage. The departure has sparked conversations about leadership, morale, and the broader vision for the team's future, with every decision scrutinized under the shadow of Judge's legacy. In many ways, the Yankees are entering a period of reinvention, one forced not by strategy alone, but by the departure of a figure whose influence extends far beyond statistics and performance. As rumors continue to circulate, each potential replacement, trade, or signing becomes a story in its own right, feeding the larger narrative that surrounds this unprecedented moment in baseball history. Meanwhile, the league as a whole is entering a period of intense recalibration. Rival teams are suddenly considering how Judge's availability might shift the balance of power, affecting playoff predictions, pitching rotations, and offensive strategies for years to come. Some executives are exploring high-risk, high-reward maneuvers, weighing whether acquiring Judge justifies the long-term financial and roster commitments it would require. Others are taking a more measured approach, analyzing how his departure affects their opponents and their own recruitment priorities. The media frenzy amplifies these moves, with every report, rumor, and cryptic hint being magnified into major headlines. The narrative is dynamic, constantly evolving as new information surfaces and as insiders speculate on motivations, potential negotiations, and hidden strategies. Fans of other teams are suddenly calculating their chances, imagining lineups and home run tallies that could shift the trajectory of entire seasons. In this way, Judge's exit has created a domino effect that reaches far beyond the Yankees, influencing decisions, strategies, and speculation across the entire league, making this not just a player transfer, but a transformational moment for professional baseball. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.